Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
You are watching a master at work.
Yeah. Welcome back to another Based in Reality movie review this week. What we doing, Berto?
Thor Love and Thunder. It's Thor 4? Thor 4?
That's fire. Thor 4.
Thor 4.
The villain's name is Gore.
Oh, Jesus.
We out here for some
Bars.
more, son.
Bars.
I didn't do it.
All right. So, Love and Thunder, the part 4 of Thor's.
Thor versus Gore. Thor part 4.
So, this takes place after Endgame, Avengers Endgame, where Thor and the Guardians set off. Everybody goes their own ways. So, this picks off a couple. It doesn't say how much time after the movie where the Guardians are doing their thing with Thor and Thor's acclimating to them and they're using him to help their missions and he's basically becoming a diva. And the movie takes place.
We don't know how long, but time has passed.
Time has passed.
New Asgard has undergone some developments. Now they're a tourist attraction.
Yeah. So we're dropped into this world again. And the main plot line of the story is, well, for Thor comes back. Well, he's searching for love, basically now. He's searching for love. He's talking to Star-Lord. And Star-Lord, where was Gamora? Didn't she come back?
I thought she died.
She died, but then her past self came. Remember?
Yeah, but that's the past and the multiverse. I think Gamora's out.
No, she died, right? She died, right? And then they went back in time to fix everything, right? And then the evil blue chick, she sabotaged the time machine thing to bring the old Thanos back to the future.
Nebula, yeah.
And then Gamora was with them.
Right.
Remember? And then she met
new Chris Pratt. She's like,
yeah.
oh, this
and
is
they were
him?
all together.
Yeah,
Remember at Tony's funeral, she was there. They were all there. But I didn't see her. Did you see her?
No, she was not in this movie.
She was not in there, right? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. The new Guardians is coming out too, so
plot hole.
Explain it.
But continue.
Yeah, so basically he's a sucker for love and he's trying to figure stuff out, whatever. He's talking to Star-Lord. They're trying to figure stuff out. And on Earth, Jane Foster, which is from the first Thor, his girl, whatever.
His ex, Natalie Portman.
She's dying of cancer. And for some reason, the hammer is summoning her. Summoning, yeah.
It's calling to her.
And with no logic or reason, she becomes Thor 2.
Mighty Thor.
Right? And it's time for a new mission for Thor, so they pick up on Christian Bale's character, Gore, and he's going around killing gods. But he doesn't know that extent of it. They're going for a distressing of one of Thor's old homies.
Sif,
right? She's like dying on the planet. So they go to get her. And then hilarity ensues. I don't know what else to
hilarity
say.
Is a bit of an overstretch.
Yeah. So basically the movie is they go back, they meet, some kids get kidnapped, and the whole thing is a mission to get the kids back, basically.
Fair.
All right. Fair. All right. What did you think of the movie? Go ahead. What did you think of it?
I love the comedic relief. Or shall I say the attempt at comedic relief. Thor Ragnarok, the last Thor movie, same director. I'm going to go out on a limb and try to pronounce his name. Give me a second. Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
The director of Thor Ragnarok came back.
Where's he from?
New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, he's way out there.
Yeah, he's like a other.
Because they have Pacific Islander. I think that's officially Pacific Islander on the list.
Gotcha.
New Zealand is, so he's a Pacific Islander. Did Thor Ragnarok, and to me, Thor Ragnarok was, I don't want to say the funniest, but it has the most comedic elements out of the Marvel movies for me. I think they purposely tried to be funny. Yeah, Helo, whatever, the sister killed everybody on Asgard, killed the dad, took his eye, crazy shit. But the relationship between him and Hulk, it was the most purposely light comedic tone out of all of them. So they brought him back, and they tried to do the same thing. With comedy, there's a balance. It's like a seesaw. When you try too hard, it kind of makes me pull away. When you try too hard to be funny, it doesn't matter whether you land or not. It's less funny. And this movie tried too hard to be funny. It veered into the corny. The whole Jane Fonda, Jodie Foster, I can't get her name right. The handshake that went on too long. Thor's kind of like a joke. Now, Chris Hemsworth, the reason he's so great as Thor is because he's ginormous. He's beautiful. His arms are retarded. Everything about him says Thor.
He's only good at Thor. Honestly, as an actor, I had to say that.
Can't disagree.
Yeah,
I can't fight you on
that. He really is terrible in everything else.
Because he looks like a spatial interstellar god, but he's also humanized. He's
like Ivan Drago. He's been made for that role.
Yeah, but better because you can relate to him because he is funny. Because he's kind of in on the joke. So Thor always...
Oh, yeah. He's playing it.
Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
They teetered too far on this one. When you try too hard, it makes me not laugh at it. Now that I know that you're doing too much. You're trying too hard. I hated that part.
Okay.
Natalie Portman.
Jane Foster.
Love Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman put on weight. Black Swan, she took off tiny. She was the size of this microphone stand. Thor Love and Thunder, she put on weight. She had arms. She had detail in the triceps. She had muscle variation. She had thighs. Go ahead, Natalie Portman. Before she became, with the short hair, pre-cancer face, before she got like, oh, too deep into cancer, I'm dying, she looked fine. She was giving hot mom vibes. Like, she can't come to Jet games. Zach Wilson will bag her. And if he don't, I will. Like, she was given. Love Natalie Portman.
Okay.
Hate blonde Natalie Portman. Hate her as Thor.
As Thor.
Does she have to be blonde to be Thor? Can she just not wield Mjolnir and have the dress of Thor? Does she have to be blonde? Like, that's what it is in the comic? I know you know. This is why I come to you to ask these questions.
I don't know. The rules, they're making them up as they go along. I don't know.
If they would have left her with her regular shit.
In the movie, they said whoever wields the hammer has the power of Thor, not becomes Thor. Because Captain America didn't become Thor, right? He just had the powers of Thor. That's what I thought. I always believed.
Or he was worthy enough to wield.
Yeah, you can wield it and you have the power of Thor's powers.
Right.
Right? But you don't actually become Thor. I know later in the comics, there is a female Thor. I think there's a frog Thor. It's like a bunch of weird stuff that they go into. But the original canon is Thor's Thor. And she becomes Thor, I guess. I don't know. But I never understood that. Thor cast a spell on his hammer to protect
her.
Right, but go ahead.
She becomes him.
Finish up. Yeah, keep going.
Cool. No, that's part of it. This is why we're doing this.
Okay.
Another love-hate. Love that they bring in all the gods. They bring in the gods from ancient mythology, from Greek mythology. They bring in Quetzalcoatl. They bring in Zeus and Hercules. I love that. I love that Russell Crowe is Zeus. I hate his fucking accent. What is that?
Okay.
What is it Greek? Is it wherever they're from? Why can't you just be the Spaniard? The Spaniard, Maximus from Are you not entertained? That is Zeus. Use that voice. That's why we got Russell Crowe. He's already Zeus. It's built in. He's already Australian. That's why I'm going to say his name slowly. Taika Waititi. If I'm the casting director, I'm thinking of Zeus. I'm going to go with my homeland country Pacific Islander Russell Crowe to just speak normally. Be Maximus. Be the Spaniard from Gladiator. That's the perfect Zeus voice. They use everything good. Zeus from Greek mythology was about that. He was about that. He had all the hoes. He had unlimited kids. He was about that fuckery. He was about the orgies. So when he was like, all right, let's end this huge conference and let's get to the fuck shit. That's really Zeus in Greek mythology. They really did that.
Okay.
Why they gotta fuck it up with that bullshit? Now he's a clown. He's a joke. He's like a mockery of himself with that accent. Is there anything to that?
Oh, why does he have I think that was actor choice.
Oh my God.
That's his choice. But
Hate.
But that's because it's a comedy. That's as soon as his first words, it was funny because
Was it funny to you? You laughed?
I didn't laugh at anything in this movie.
I didn't laugh one time in this movie.
I thought Russell Crowe was the best part of the movie. One of the best parts.
Fine.
The accent, I didn't care much for the accent, but his character, I think, was the funniest. The always alluding to orgies. I don't know why in the kids movie. These are kids movies now, right?
No. They kept true to Zeus. In Greek mythology, that's who Zeus was.
I know there's all that fuckery and all that stuff,
but that's the part that I loved about it. So why keep true to that and then fuck around with all that fuck shit? Fine.
Keep going.
I loved Mjolnir, the return of the original hammer.
Okay.
That shit was fucked up. His sister broke it. It was still in pieces. Love that Mjolnir made a comeback. I love that they used the fact that it was broken up. That's a new attribute. Now it could split up, attack the whole field, come back together. When it came back, that shit was fire.
Well, when they're making shit up as they go along, they could do anything. That hammer was broken. Many movies ago.
Yeah, that's not I have no qualms about that.
And then, what do you call it? Captain America. He brought the hammer back.
He picked it up,
and he brought it back to where they got it from the first place. They got it at Asgard when he went back in time, but he returned it, and then it got destroyed again. But that was many movies ago. Like, who collected the parts?
Let's not delve into the specifics of the multiverse and traveling back in time and how you put it back.
All right, regardless of all that, they had it on a platter on display, and she, for some reason, put it together when Thor couldn't.
I'm going to suspend disbelief.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to deal with what's in front of me.
Go ahead.
I love the fact that it made a comeback, and she used it, that it used the fact that it was broken and made it an attribute.
Okay, go ahead.
Hated that his new hammer had feelings and that is jealous about it.
The personification.
That shit is corny as fuck to me.
Okay.
I hated that part. It made me not like the fact that Mjolnir came back. That it added the feelings part. Corny. Loved Christian Bale as the villain. Christian Bale as the villain added that he was creepy and believable, and I hated him. And I hated him because it was Christian Bale doing that. Yeah, he 10%, maybe 5-10% overacted. But the best actors we have overact. Al Pacino. You get the call the hammer. We see the teeth. We see your mouth is dirty. I get it. The whole crip. I get it.
What was that movie? I think I can't remember. It was a big ensemble movie where there was a bunch of characters, right? And then one character was directed like it was a comedy. Another character was directed like it's a drama. Another character, like the director did that purposely. Like he directed everybody to seem like a different movie.
Christian Bale's in it?
Was it? I can't remember. I just can't remember. But Christian Bale basically is too good for this movie.
I feel like he's overacting a little. He's doing a little bit too much.
The first scene opens up a different tone than the rest of the entire movie.
I think that's meant for like the character arc. Because if you look at him, right, he's in the beginning, he still believes in the gods. You see him in the sun, in the desert, and you see him with color.
But they did like a 2-minute. How long was that? 2-3 minutes?
It was too fast. But I get what they were trying to do.
His whole motives based on the whole thing was based on that, and nobody cared. His daughter, nobody cared about his daughter. Like you never know about his daughter.
They brought it back. All right, go ahead. You said it first. No, let me get it. I'm gonna go off that. What you said.
Yeah.
They rushed it. It was rushed, but I get what they tried to do. I believe in the gods. I sacrificed my life. We all believe in believe in the God. And then when he saw the gods, he saw that it was all bullshit.
I was in it. Yeah, I like that motivation.
And then that's when it changed. So he went from believing in the sun god and being in the desert and losing his kid and still believing in the sun god to changing completely to the other side and being in the shadows.
You know, that's the plot of The Incredibles Part 1.
Go ahead. What's the plot of The Incredibles Part 1?
You don't remember The Incredibles?
Not right off the bat. What happened in Incredibles Part 1?
Well, it's the family of Incredibles, right? Like they have superpowers, right? And then the bad guy, basically, he wanted to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick.
Right, remember? The little kid that grew up. Yeah.
And then he met his idol and he was disappointed. Then he became the villain.
No, he was disappointed on his own shit. He was disappointed because he wouldn't. he wouldn't put him under his arm.
Whatever.
He wasn't disappointed because the God literally said to him, "You don't matter. All I need is followers. This is really about me. You're serving me,
It's
not
similar,
as a
similar. The villain is
you meet your heroes.
somebody who's disappointed.
And disappointed.
Yeah.
Fair. I'll let you have that. But the overall, I lost my child to the sun, and then now I'm in the shadows looking for revenge. That sets up the whole character arc.
That was
It's
cool.
just rushed.
No, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. But I didn't care for him. I didn't know who it starts off. He's in the desert. What? He's in the desert, right? Mm-hmm. Or some planet, whatever. He's in the desert.
Oh, he's in the desert. Kids dying.
That's it. How do you start a movie like that? Like what? And then you never allude to anything. Where's he from? What is he? Anything? Nothing. There is nothing about it. He's got the sword, right? He got the sword, right? And then becomes a god killer. Then he doesn't kill any gods.
He kills mad gods.
You see that what? You see
in
it
the distress signal.
On the
with the
distress
Guardians
signal
of
with
the
a
Galaxy.
bunch of screens.
All of them.
Gods, right? That you see that. That's like a Rocky montage. Like when he's
It's a
but
quick
at least
vignette.
Rocky's like training and over time, and you can see it.
I'm not saying it's good. It's
All right.
rushed.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
rushed.
Extremely rushed.
But I see what they were trying to do.
what
They
they're
were
trying
just
to do.
trying to set up
Yeah.
the character. They were trying to set up the arc.
Yes.
So to start somewhere, you have to set up the arc, and they show the juxtaposition between the two. He lives in the dark, in the shadows, with no color. He's
Yeah.
black and white. Thor literally travels on a fucking rainbow.
Yeah.
A shot of light with rainbow. Like it's the
Yeah.
juxtaposition. It's the that's what Love and Thunder. I get it.
Okay.
I didn't say it was done well.
Okay. Yeah,
But I get what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers don't defeat heroes. They don't. I'm gonna say it again. Avengers don't defeat villains no more. In the last 3 movies, they haven't defeated a villain. This movie, they didn't defeat Christian Bale. They got to the end, and Thor turns around and goes, "No, go ahead, do what you got to do. End the world. I'm gonna go chill with my girl for the last 2 minutes." They don't never defeat him. In the last movie, in the Doctor Strange multiverse of they don't defeat Wanda. They get to the end and they're like, listen, here are your kids. Don't kill the whole world for kids that don't exist. Be cool, Wanda. And Wanda kills herself. In the last Spider-Man, they don't defeat any villains. Spider-Man has to change the curse he made and erase everyone's mind. So these aren't Avengers anymore. They're negotiators. They don't defeat any villains.
They killed Michael B. Jordan.
That was 8 movies ago.
They killed him. They killed the Iron Man villains, all of them.
That was 22 movies ago.
Yeah.
In phase 4, in the last 4 or 5 movies, they haven't
talking
defeated
about
any
recent-
fucking villains.
Okay. All right.
Ain't no Avengers left.
I'm trying to think, but yeah. All right.
Since Thor, they haven't defeated anybody. They haven't defeated any
Because
villains.
they always have to give the possibility. They killed Loki 3-4 times.
My man, he's barely a villain. I'm talking about.
No, he was the villain. He was the main villain in a bunch of the movies. Avengers 1.
Yeah, but he tricks niggas. He comes
No,
back.
he
he's
comes
on
back.
your
No,
team.
that's
He's
what
on
I'm
my
saying.
team.
No, but
this nigga literally has a R.I.P. Loki tattoo on his back.
No.
I wouldn't count Loki as a full throttle villain in the
No,
movies.
he-
I don't know about the Loki vision, the Loki show. I'm just talking about the straight movie.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, they don't kill him, basically, but they have to leave the possibility open now. Plus, it's Disney. Like nobody dies.
What you mean nobody dies? In WandaVision, she slaughtered all of the different universe people. When he goes to
But there's a different.
when he goes to
another
Zeus,
reality.
he slaughters all of those people, and the only reason that it's still rated R is because the blood is not red. I'm gonna say it again. Taika Waititi is smart because he has a blood. He just makes the blood gold. That blood gold shit, and then he slaughters all the gold. The gold is
That's what they did
everywhere.
in Morbius. They made the blood blue, artificial
They
blood.
did it again. I didn't see Morbius. They did it again. I thought that was smart because they can't do all that crazy bloodshed and have it rated PG-13. So they kill hella people in this motherfucker, but they're not beating villains like superheroes.
No.
You beat the villains. They're not the Avengers no more. Nigga. They negotiate.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's my love hate list.
Okay. So overall, what you think of it though?
There's more hates than loves.
Okay.
I think it fell short. It didn't hit its comedic mark, and I think comedy is at the forefront. at least Taika Waititi, Thor Ragnarok, I think they're more comedic relief, and it did not hit. In terms of advancing the storyline, it did not hit. In terms of standalone character arc development, it really did not hit. I don't want to give it a grade yet. We still have a couple things we want to talk about. It missed.
It missed.
It's a miss.
Okay. I thought it was terrible. I thought I think it's over.
What's over?
The MCU. I think everything.
You think Marvel is over?
I think it's done.
You think Marvel is dead?
It's dead. Yeah. It's basically they should have ended it at Endgame. Endgame was a perfect ending to it, and then just restart everything. Start with the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. You know, you have all those characters, Ghost Rider, Daredevil. You have all that. Just start another world. Just start
brand new. 2008 Iron Man.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yeah, start one thing. It could take place in another universe. It don't matter. Now that it's multiverse is open, whatever. Just
You think they dropped the ball trying to hold on to what they had and trying to connect the past to the future?
is what I was saying before. It's like it's episodic, meaning like you have to be invested now and watch everything, or shit doesn't make sense. It's like a daytime soap opera.
Yes.
It just goes every single day, right?
This as a standalone.
It should just be called like the MCU movie. And then on this episode, we have this character. On this episode, you have this character. And it's just episodic. You just are watching a Marvel movie. People even say, what's the next Marvel movie? Marvel movie. Like, you're not, what's the next Thor movie? Like, no, it's like the next Marvel movie. And all the characters are bunched in. It's like, they're just characters in a long, this is like an expensive TV show, in my opinion. That's what it's become. And they don't know. The same thing happened to Star Wars. Like, they said they were going to make a trilogy, right? But no one sat down and wrote through 3 movies together. One director wrote a movie. He directed it. Yeah. He passed it on to the next guy. He wrote from the ending of the first one, wrote his own thing. And then the third one came back and tried to fix it. But it's all a mess. It's not coherent. And it's just, there's too many characters at this point. It is just corny to me. Like, are you going to make a comedy? All right. Christian Bale, amazing actor, one of my favorites. Starts off, all right, he's going in, he's going to kill gods. I was like, he's got to...
The God Slayer.
Yeah, he's going to, I was in.
Yeah.
The Guardians came out. All right, they're doing missions together. I was in. He's working out. I'm getting
montage, the whole Hakuna Matata, where he turns from the Lion King montage, where he turns from Simba to he's grown. They do the same exact thing.
I'm in there. I'm in there.
I'm in. 100% agree.
As soon as Star-Lord came out, Thor, we need your help. He took his tree branch hammer axe thing from the ground and he wrote it like the Wicked Witch.
That's when I
said, "What the fuck?
What is happening?" That's what I started. That was my question.
I was like, "All right, whatever. It's Marvel. All right, you're gonna sneak in some jokes in there, all right, whatever." He starts getting a fight. Then when he does that, split his legs.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme
to stop the two things.
The blood sport at the end of the thing.
I'm like.
That's when I said, all right. They do a little too much.
I'll give you. And then after that.
That was the second strike.
And then the goats.
That was the third strike for me.
That's it.
I swear to God, I was going to say the goats.
That's it. The goat. I was like, all right, one time.
I could have walked out.
One time is funny. One time.
Screaming goats on the ship.
Don't say nothing. When they landed into the planet, that was funny. But
when they made the goats fucking reindeers
that
led the boat.
Every little. This is when it's a bad comedy is when they try to make every little thing a joke. Every little thing.
They try too hard.
It's a delicate balance. Every line of the movie, everything is alluding to a joke, which is terrible because he's not a good comedic writer.
It's not hitting.
He's not. It's like Tessa Thompson. Like they completely wasted Tessa Thompson. Like she comes in with Natalie Portman, like, oh, you have a story, you have what is that, a bomb? No, it's a speaker. And then she starts like, that's stupid.
Also, her whole thing is you die in battle as a warrior so you can get to Valkyrie. She says it out loud.
Yeah, that's why she wants to fight.
The reason we're going is so I can die in battle and go to Valkyrie.
Yeah, she's ready to check out.
She gets stabbed and she was like, yo, get me the fuck out of here. Nah, I ain't going back. You crazy? I'm going to die. Bitch, what you mean? 22 minutes ago, you said that was the point of this.
Yeah, she's ready to...
And now she's running from it. Exactly. It don't make no goddamn sense.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson, like, she started off funny in Thor Ragnarok, right? That's where she was introduced.
And I loved me some Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson,
cool, yeah.
I'll be Victor Thompson. I'll take your name. I love Tessa Thompson.
She's cool, but it's like they just all right. Like, I let all these things slide, right? It's becoming dumb. Like, all right, whatever. The thing they kidnapped the children. Okay, that's a motivation. Whatever. Okay, Christian Bale is still going ape shit. Like he's fully into it. Like he's doing something crazy, like, amazing.
That's what kept me still invested.
Yeah, so like, he's playing serious. Everybody else is joking around. He's playing the shit serious. So then you have when he meets Zeus, Russell Crowe is introduced. I like Russell Crowe. I like the cat. I thought that was, and the irony, he tries. Well, if you didn't see you thought he died, right? And if you didn't see the end credit,
we'll get to the end credits.
Yeah, they're gonna go stop a god killer, and he kills a god
with his own shit.
With his own shit because they want his thing. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Strike 7. Continue.
All right, yeah. So I'm still fully, and then they just come up with Thor bullshit powers. Like Thor, he was FaceTiming the kid. That face just popped up.
Idris Elba's son.
I'm like, Thor can do it. He can project himself where he's talking to somebody. How did that even?
I don't know when that started. That's what I was. Another question I was going to ask you. I refer.
I don't know that. I don't follow Thor. I think Thor is boring. Like Thor is really. He was good. The guy Chris Hemsworth. He's good at playing Thor because he's a fish out of water. The first movie was a fish out of water movie, and he, he's good, like that, in small doses. Can he carry a movie? I don't think so. The first one was okay. It's a fish out of water. Plus, it was like the third movie, so it was like everything's so brand new. The second movie was absolute trash, right? Ragnarok was cool because of the Hulk. I like the Hulk. I don't like what they doing to the Hulk during that little phase, but I like the Hulk and kept it interesting.
They made it like a buddy cop almost.
Yeah. So that was okay, but this one is just like try to be pure comedy and
way over the top,
and it's like that. It's not funny, like. And then you think about, it's for kids, right? It's for kids. Is it for kids? I'm talking about orgies and all this.
It's definitely not for kids when one of the jokes is Jane Fonda and Jodie Foster. Like
exactly. So it is for adults.
Dated ass references.
If it's for adults, the jokes are corny and bad. If it's for kids, it has inappropriate shit in there.
Yeah.
Right. And then so basically the whole thing is like unraveling. At the very end, when I just checked out completely, was when they made the rock monster gay.
And holding hands over a fire?
I like that character. And that's the director. You know that, right?
Oh, that's who's voicing him?
Yeah, that's the director.
That's Taika Waititi?
Yeah, that's the director.
Okay.
He was also in...
Corey.
What is it? Free Guy?
He directed Free Guy.
Did he direct it? I don't know if he directed it. He was in the movie.
He either directed it or wrote it.
He was in the movie too.
Yeah.
So that's the guy, his voice. He has a cool voice. I love the rock monster. He's funny, me dumb thinking rock monsters are asexual, just they're made by some kind of thing. But no, they had to take 2 seconds to say he's gay, and like I was like, what is this? What are we doing here?
Another thing. It's a kids. They give kids all the powers of Thor.
Oh, that's another thing before that, I was about to say,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Again, with the Thor having powers that you never seen before.
Out of the blue.
He can cast spells on his thing to protect the girl. He can
share his own powers and just give.
He can just give all the kids powers. All right, I'd buy it if it was like, the kids even say, like, I give Asgardians power because Asgardians aren't humans, right? It's been established. They're not humans. They're Asgardians. They live forever or whatever. So I buy that. But the kids themselves say, I'm not an Asgardian. I'm a thing. I'm a wolf. Yeah, I'm a
Moldorian.
From all these, and he can just give the kids all the powers. But by talking to, he didn't even have the hammer or the axe at the time, right? What did he have? He had Zeus's lightning bolt.
Yeah.
So he could just do that?
No, he took Zeus's bolt that he killed Zeus with and stole it, and then gave these random kids the power of Thor. And none of the kids, and they're cool. They just take out all the shadow monsters. They just take them all. They're fine.
So why didn't, when Thanos was attacking, like when he showed up at Wakanda, when he pulled up, which is like one of the best movies, like he pulled up with Groot and Rocket, you know, they all that. Why couldn't he just give the powers to all the Wakandan soldiers?
They lost me. Lost. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, when they're just making this shit up as they go along, and it's just not. I don't know. It's like there's parts of me like I know I'm watching a bad movie. You could just turn your brain off and just like the Fast and Furious. I know it's stupid. You could just
chill. Which Fast and Furious? Be specific, because some of them fucking hit.
The last two have been trash.
Perfect. Thank you.
But you know what you're watching. Like, you know, it's just stupid action, just going for it, whatever. I can turn my brain off. But for this one, it's like you're invested in this. 30 movies now, 30 movies and TV shows, damn near. You're so invested in this, and it just doesn't hit for me. Like I that's why I said I checked out, because there's too many now.
That's what I'm saying. It's a full miss. It's a swing and miss. Like, it's a swing and a miss, but swing and a miss where I turn all the way around, my helmet falls off, everybody in the crowd is laughing. It's like a big miss.
Yeah, I saw it on the preview show on Thursday night. It was a pack. It was sold out. There was no laughs in the movie. Like, nothing. Like, the goat, when they ran into the planet, that I laughed too. That was funny. Mm-hmm. You just heard that. And a couple of jokes here and there. But, like, the majority of the movie, like, nobody laughed. Nobody was like nothing. There was no cheering. There was no
If you get to 3 laughs, that's a lot.
Yeah.
If you get to 3 moments in the theater where there's either laugh, cheers.
There's nothing. None of that stuff. We used to get constant. The Avengers had so many, like, obviously the other movies, but I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like, what are we doing here? It's like they're just making these movies for what? Like, for are they setting up more stuff? Like, even more characters to introduce? So
I don't know. I don't know if it was like a deeper existential sort of like pushing a theory about love.
Oh, so let me get to the ending, right? So okay. The ending go back, and you know they're at eternity, right?
They're in the
which
eternity.
Is some new thing that nobody's ever talked about in anything before. Where if you reach it, you can make one wish for anything.
But it says to the first person that gets there.
Yeah, the first person who gets there.
So they only get one wish.
Yeah, one wish. The first person who gets there, which nobody knew about, right? Thanos was collecting stones and all that just to have the power. But could he have just gone to the thing and just made a wish?
One. Or Christian Bale, the whole movie. Like you said, it makes no sense. The beginning part makes no sense. But this is why, to me, I fall back a little bit. The daughter dies. And that was his, I guess, origin story to become, you know, Gore the God Slayer, right? That's the motivation. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
So now his new mission is to reach eternity so that he can kill, well, all the gods, and he's gonna kill all the gods, and he's gonna reach eternity so that he can kill all the rest of the gods in one fell swoop.
Yes.
They get there and say, "Oh, why don't you just wish your daughter to come back?" And he goes, "Oh shit, I didn't think about that."
And then he's like, "Oh, but I'm going to
die." So the whole time he never thinks about going to get a wish to get his daughter back. But then when he finally gets there, kills everybody, kidnaps all those kids, they go, "Oh, no, just wish for your daughter to come back." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't think about this."
Hold on.
So the point of the movie was for him to reach the eternity realm or whatever it was.
That happened halfway in the movie. That became the goal, right? And another thing, to find eternity, they needed the axe. The axe was created just a couple movies ago.
Groot made it the other day to build the star when he held the thing.
That was just created a couple days ago. So,
now I think it was the what's it called when you shoot the rainbow light out?
The Bifrost.
It was the Bifrost.
So but then that summons the Bifrost.
Yeah, that axe makes Bifrost.
The Bifrost is whatever is the rainbow shit.
No, I know. But the Idris Elba can control the Bifrost.
Yeah. Well, that was like the main station. But then these little satellite things like the hammer and the thing, they create their own.
Cool. So he gets to the eternity.
Tessa Thompson's horse does it too.
Right. She rides in on the unicorn.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So he wants to get to so Gore wants to get to Valkyrie to end all the gods. And then when they get there and they're like, "Oh, well, why don't you just wish for your daughter to come back?" And he goes, "Oh shit, I never thought about that."
And then he's like,
"Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to be alone. Oh, I'll take care of her."
And he goes, "Oh, bet, got you. We good." "Oh shit, I'm dying." What? Like, I was already out. I was out when he gave the kids the power. I was out when Tessa Thompson wanted to die in Valkyrie, but then ran away from dying in Valkyrie, I'm out. But it's hard to leave when you're already out. I almost walked out of the theater. I don't walk out of theater. I paid $13.25 to watch that movie. I want my $13.25 back. I'm gonna write an email to Marvel to get my money back. That shit was so bad. I'm glad you reminded me, because I was almost not mad about it. I was not mad enough. That made no sense.
A lot of it makes no sense. Like, just, you don't even have to know about the comics. Just like, if you're just watching the movies
as a standalone, forget in the 29
everything.
Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's just like when I watch movies that are based on books, I never read the book, but I can follow a good movie. You know,
I read the book.
Yeah, well, you do.
Yeah, I like reading.
And most people do too, but I don't. I just watch it for a movie. And if it's a good movie, it makes sense. You don't need to know the book. You can just follow it. This is like, maybe you have to know the comics. I have no idea. It's just dumb to me at this point. It's like they're just making stuff up as they're going. And all right, so the daughter comes back, right? He wishes the daughter to come back, right? They have a moment, right? And then the last two movies, when Thor's with the girl, was more interesting than.
What you mean the last two movies?
The last 2 minutes of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Thor with the little girl.
Yeah.
Was more interesting than the whole movie. Like, if I just saw the movie of her and like Thor as a dad,
Yeah.
I think that would have been more interesting than this whole thing. Love and Thunder. Okay, he's raising a kid. Like, what if he had a bastard child, whatever, in the beginning of the movie, and that was the girl. That was the girl, and like the mother was dying, and then he saved her. And then now he's stuck with her, like a Logan. Remember the Logan movie? Like that, like a father figure to the girl. That would have been, and the somebody kidnaps her and has to go chase after her.
Yeah. The begrudging father who doesn't really want the kid, but he found himself in a situation. Now he's in love with. Yeah, no, I hear you. That's a way better angle.
That's a way better movie. That would have been a good TV show. But it probably would have been like. I think that's what Star Wars was about. The last show, Obi-Wan. It was like. The girl was kidnapped, and the whole thing is like him.
I'm gonna watch that. I didn't watch that yet.
Yeah, that was good. But I'm saying like, any one of those angles with this. This is a basic movie. Like, there's nothing special about it. There's nothing memorable about it. There's nothing to go back to. It's not rewatchable.
I would say less than basic. I don't know if there's a word. It's under basic.
It's past basic. It's a bad episode of this TV show, which I've been saying. This whole thing is a TV show.
A 28 episode Marvel
$200 million episodes of a long TV show.
And this was the worst show.
Yeah.
This one was bad. It was like Sang-Chi. It was bad. Sang-Chi, whatever the fuck. It was bad.
But some of it was entertaining. That's why it's hard to hate it. But I can turn that brain off, and this is a bad movie. It's a bad movie. Had some entertaining parts.
There's parts of it that I love. Like I said, there's parts of it that I love.
Chris Hemsworth, this is his only good role, in my opinion. Everything else he's just terrible in.
Other movies.
Yes. He ruined Ghostbusters, that movie.
What's the race car movie with his accent?
I didn't even watch that.
When I want to hear about bad accents, I put on that movie with him. With him, he's a hacker.
He's a hacker? Oh, God. The movie with...
I'll say right now.
When he was when after 9/11 happened, and then he's going to go, the military's going and they're riding horses. I forgot what it's called. 12 something, 12 strong or whatever. But
on Netflix.
No. This was a movie. But
Red Dawn?
No. He was in Red Dawn too.
Black Hat was bad. It was bad. Rush was bad.
But yeah, overall, he's just like, this is his only good role, so I can't knock him. He's trying. It's not his fault, obviously. It's whoever wrote this, you know? So overall, I just think.
Now, what would you compare it to? What was the last thing you just said? The kind of like this movie reminds you of.
I can't really think of anything that it reminds me of. Like, I try to think like what. Because I said this is episodic. This is like not like a movie. Like you could just say, "Oh, this reminds you of another movie." It's like this is specific. This is like an episode of a TV show. You can't really compare episodes of TV shows to.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to compare this to a show. I feel like this and Stranger Things.
Okay, I don't watch that. But
you didn't ever see Stranger Things?
No, I'm waiting to the end.
Well, it's almost the end.
I know exactly. I'm waiting to the end and then
The Shadow Realm, Upside Down World. The creatures, the Demigorgons, look exactly like the shadow creatures from this shit.
okay.
The main character loses everybody he loves, adopts a little girl with powers. Stranger Things, Hopper loses everybody he loves, adopts a little girl with powers.
Okay, it's a ripoff.
Stranger Things season 4. ACDC, not ACDC. Guns N' Roses,
Oh, they use so many of the same songs. All right.
electric guitar,
I like Axl Rose, but like
set in the 80s
you know,
music.
like,
Stranger
that's the
Things.
Guardian thing. That's the Guardians.
No.
thing.
I'm
They
saying
stole from that shit.
this movie is in particular.
Yeah,
The whole soundtrack was Guns N' Roses,
yeah.
electric guitar,
But I'm saying that just came off new because
Stranger
Guardians
Things.
Guardians was the movie with the music. Like it was part of the movie. Like he had his little cassette player.
Yeah, but even in the marketing used and everything about this was 80s themed. The Love and Thunder, the way they use Love and Thunder, the way
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have the
yeah.
July 8th, everything about it
Okay.
was 80s themed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Stranger Things, 80s themed.
Okay,
Electric
so
guitar.
You find parallels in it. Okay.
It's the same thing. So if you like Stranger Things season 4, which I did, you could watch this movie and be like, oh, all right, I get a lot of that.
But you like Stranger Things and you didn't like this.
Nah, this was trash. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Kids. It's all Stranger Things is a bunch of
The thing about the kids too, those are all like the actors' kids.
the little girl is Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, they're all
Daughter.
Yeah, they're all the kids are the kids.
In the montage, the Hakuna Matata where he's growing up, the Lion King montage where he's growing up, the first little boy that's running is his son.
Yeah. Those are
They
kids.
use the director's kids are in this movie. All those kids
Yeah.
are kids of somebody who ran this movie.
Yeah.
Cool, great. Get your kid a paycheck. I'm with it. I like the
The idea of the movie,
yes,
but not the movie.
but the what's the word I'm looking for? The execution.
Execution.
Lackluster. Less than lackluster. What's your grade for the movie?
As part of the universe, it's probably a D.
Standalone?
F. It's-
So D minus. Because you got to give an overall grade. That's your rubric, right? So if you have a rubric, you have blah, 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 how it fits in the Marvel, how it fits in standalone,
Yeah.
how it fits in with the writing. So overall then, from the rubric, you have F, you have D plus, D minus. So it's averages out to a D minus.
All right, yeah, I like that. All right, yeah, because I'd go off under like a part of it's like a TV episode. How was that episode? Like Breaking Bad. Like you can, the episodes some are good,
Right.
some are bad.
Within the
none
season.
are bad, but some are good, some are better than others.
Right.
A lot of shit happens in some of them. Like so, this whole Marvel thing is just one long TV show. This was a bad episode. This one had nothing to carry forth, so I give that like a D on that. As a standalone movie, as far as like, all right, this is a film, right? This is a film. You go to the theater, you sit down. F prior knowledge, all that, none of that stuff. Just watch it as a film.
No comics, nothing.
3 acts, a movie. It's terrible. it's just bad. As a comedy, you want to label it as a comedy. It's a bad comedy.
Even worse.
No, yeah, it's like nothing. So it's fail. So it's a D minus. It's average. Yeah. Okay. What'd you
D minus from your. Usually, when we do this, I feel like the scale is I'm about a letter grade above yours. From your taste to my taste, your judgment to my judgment. You're a little bit more of a harsher critic because you have a lot more. Your rubric is way more in depth than mine is. Not this time, nigga. I don't know. I did. This is a D plus, D flat. This shit was so trash. This shit was. I'm watching
But
the
this
movie.
is how I'm feeling now. Like with Doctor, this is how I felt with Doctor Strange. I
Nah,
felt with
chill.
all these movies.
Because at
like-
least Doctor Strange, I got at least visual effects. I got, oh shit, here's a scary movie.
okay.
This is new.
All right, no. I'm
There
just saying
was
this is how
elements
I
to
felt
that.
about it. This is how I felt. Like now
No,
you're
no.
feeling what I felt
Right.
about these movies.
But in comparison,
Yeah.
because that also wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't a great.
The last Spider-Man you didn't give a higher grade to. But at least that had the
Yeah,
nostalgic
it was.
effect.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
There was
I
things in
entertained.
each one of those
Yeah.
that,
I know it's not a great movie, but it is entertaining.
right, there was
And, yeah,
something that held
It
it.
gave me something. Yeah.
I can't find anything. There's aspects to it that I liked, like I ran through with the love and hate list. But the hates were way outweighed the loves. I can't give this anything higher than, I don't want to fail it because it's not like, because you have to set it like a demarcation line, right? Like a fail is, I'm trying to think what, like Waterworld. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the,
You know, like Waterworld? I didn't see that.
I'm just saying, like, what's one of the worst movies of all time? The disaster artist or whatever. There's movies that's
The Room.
yeah, okay. It has to. That's what an F is.
Okay.
So I can't give that.
Okay.
Because that, but D, I can't go higher than a D.
Are you gonna grade it a?
Like I said, I want to give it an F, but I have to set a line of demarcation for like the worst movies of all time. I don't think this is a worst movie of all time because there's still aspects of it, or at least the swings that they try to take that I respect. So I can't give it an F, but I can't go any higher than a D.
Okay.
This is
I mean, I wouldn't
movie.
say it's the worst movie of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
But like the way my brain works is like, is it a good movie or is it a bad movie? Whatever. It's a bad movie. Okay. Then you take all the bad movies, then you can rate them in their own things. So I can't really like, if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. It's an F. It's a bad. Then you can take all those bad movies and then rank them there. It's not the worst movie of all time. Obviously, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. There is no
like
once you give it, once you give something an F, there is no F plus. Like you can get a B minus, you can have a C minus, you can have a D minus, but there is no F minus.
Okay.
That's why I can't give it an F. In my heart, I want to say this is an F. This is a 61, but this is not an F. But I can't go in good conscience go any higher than a D. This missed. It's just a miss.
Okay. It's a bad episode. Bad episode.
It's a bad episode. Hopefully the next one's better. If you could bring back all these same people and have a good movie.
Well, they did. Almost. Ragnarok was way better.
That's what I'm saying. The same people, same director, same writer. You could bring back the same everything and have a good movie.
I think they could have done the girl with the little girl, because I was like when you see Thor with the little girl, right? In the little 2 minutes, you get a hint of her personality. Then you're like, okay, then if she got killed or got kidnapped, I would feel something. In the beginning, you barely see her. Like you just see her holding her.
You see her die.
Who
basically.
cares? Like you're not invested. Like not that the kid is whatever.
Right, but even then, this is why I can't give it an F because I understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah, you understand.
They're building the character. They're building the gore villain.
But these
arc.
are professional filmmakers. Like it shouldn't be like
They gotta have better ideas than me.
they do. Like I'm saying,
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
you
like-
would imagine that nobody picks this up. Like how do they even like release some shit like this? Like just watching like shouldn't.
I don't know.
This doesn't make no sense.
This is the Drake album.
The start of the Drake album.
I'm just saying. The last sentence you just said. How do you even release this? Like, how would you?
Well, if Doctor Strange was Certified Lover Boy, this is
honestly, never mind.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why would you name him? Honestly, never mind.
Yeah.
This is honestly never mind to me.
All right.